Hello, thank you for joining us. I'm Tracy Christensen, your host for Community Connection. Learning how people lived in the past can be a fascinating experience, especially when you can see, hear, and touch objects displayed by the living historians at the Pioneer Heritage Company. Bree Cornell joins us to talk about some of their upcoming events and how we can learn about life in earlier times. You look great.
Well, thank you. It's a little bit different time period.
Yeah. So when would this dress have been worn?
This would have been appropriate about 1847 to about 1856. So just as we were entering the valley as our ancestors did, this is what they would have been wearing.
Cool. Is it comfortable?
Yes, it is.
Is
it? It breathes. One of the things that's fun about learning this is that the clothing of that time period, the natural, the cottons, the linens, the wools, they actually breathe. And believe it or not, wool can be cool in the summertime.
Wow. See, that's good. And what time periods do you cover in your work?
Pioneer Heritage Company focuses on the trail life.
Okay.
So we got started as a part of the 1997 wagon train. Mm-hmm. And out of that, it continued. We had friendships and relationships that wanted to continue afterwards. And so we were invited to one festival and then another festival. And here we are nearly 20 years later, still reenacting and doing interpretation along the way.
Wow. So tell us about that, about the research that you do and your reenactments.
Well, research and discovery is part of the excitement, and it's the journey. And most people think of history and research like, oh, no, those are words that are frightening. Yeah. But that's part of the excitement, being able to pick up these little bits of truths and knowledge. That's why they did this. Or there was a lot of common sense here. Why don't we take that and use it again and bring it forward into our 21st century lifestyle? So being able to set up a camp inside of a park and be able to be ambassadors of time to create just a little snapshot of what life was like along the trail, or as they came into the valley and were just settling. They didn't have everything they needed, but they had everything they required in order to sustain life.
And I hear you also prepare food.
Oh, yes.
From the time period.
Food is primary, and our menfolk do not go hungry. One of the things we learned early on is make sure the food was good and plenty of it. And then they'll put up with weather, they'll put up with rain, wind, mosquitoes, but make sure the food is there.
So what are some favorites, some staples?
The favorites are always to put meat on a spit and be able to roast it next to the fire. The men are always salivating after that. I know it's a beautiful piece of meat and well prepared that way. But there's also, you span fricassees, the gravies, the breads, all of the different meal types and recipes of the time period. Some of them are a little bit different. And some of them are like, wow, hadn't had this taste. Nutmeg, for instance, cinnamon, allspice. We normally have it in all of our baked goods. They used a lot of it in their meat.
Oh, yeah, that is different.
And it's good.
You guys are having an event coming up in Orem.
Yes.
Tell us
now
about
that's a little bit different time frame. I'm about 50 years into the future with that one, but that is the Sarah event, the colonial event. And so over the 4th of July, we will be setting up from that entire park area. We'll be filled with canvas, reenactors, living historians. We'll even have I understand, some British soldiers coming in. But we'll let the lobsterbacks have their part too. But we're looking forward to that event as well.
So the community can just come and...
Yes, it's free and open. So come
watch and learn. And
starting from about 9 o'clock in the morning and going until about 6 o'clock at night, all day long, the types of events and activities. There'll be potters, basket weavers. There'll be a group of the American colonials, and we'll be doing the soldier's life. You might actually catch a glimpse of me in the kitchen if you can catch up fast enough. But I'll be fixing the kitchen, preparing the meals for all of the menfolk for that period of, they're about 5 days.
Wow. And what do you hope the community learns from that experience?
Well, hopefully they can come back out of that and say, wow, I'm grateful for the time when I live, where I live, and how I live. Because there were a lot of things they didn't know any better. We do. And so now to be able to have a glimpse of that and to come away with some appreciation and gratitude for our ancestors, for our background and from whence we come, and where our freedom originated from, and who those people were.
Thank you for sharing. Remind us your website so we can learn more.
PioneerHeritageCompany.com, and that's the PHC. We're also getting ready for a Scandinavian Festival, and we'll be throughout Cove Fort later on in August and Fillmore. So come to the festivals up and down the Wasatch Front, and we hope to see you there.
We'll watch for you in your cute outfits. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Pioneer Heritage Company believes the best way to preserve history is to live it and share it. Information about this and other organizations providing educational opportunities and services can be found at our website, kbyu11.org. We appreciate you joining us and hope to see you again on Community Connection.